Hi, this is North County PC Solutions in Atascadero, California, and we've got something kind of cool to show you today. Um, there's some really neat alternatives coming out to Microsoft operating systems right now, and most of these are on the Linux. They're in like a Linux platform. Um, this one I'm running today is called ZorinOS 6, and it's on the most popular Linux platform in the world right now, Ubuntu, however you say it. And then it kind of adds its own interface to it. It's using the Gnome graphical interface, so it's pretty nice looking and stuff, and it has some nice features to it, but it's not quite as much of a memory hog as the KDE graphical interface. So it's kind of a happy medium for people that are changing from Windows over to Linux, but they want a simple to operate system, and it's still fairly lean. The hardcore Linux users, they're probably not going to like this because to them it'll be bloated. But I'm running this right now on a virtual machine, and it's very snappy, even a virtual machine. The version I'm running today is it's in VirtualBox, and it's a 64-bit version. And let's take a peek at some of the stuff. It's very similar to Windows. You've got your speaker controls and stuff like that over here. You've got your tools, things you can do here. And then the menu here is very similar. Very similar to Windows. And you can tweak this to where it's fancier, more like Windows 7, but I like the simple, almost the old school like XP look because you can get this stuff really quick this way. It's got Wine that adapts a lot of Microsoft Windows type of products over to Linux. It's not 100%, but I hear it works pretty well. Um, it comes with an Office suite that's very similar to OpenOffice.org. I don't know if it's also from Sun Micro, but it looks just like OpenOffice.org, and it's great. I actually like OpenOffice better than the one Microsoft puts out, and you can export as a PDF, just like OpenOffice. It's really nice. The other thing I've noticed is that this system is really stable. I've had no problems with it. It hasn't crashed at all. The install on it, most Linux installs can be kind of tricky. You have to get a separate installer. You have to figure out how to root it and all that sometimes. This one is really simple. It had a good install method. It was very similar to installing Windows. It's pretty intuitive and does the work for you. One thing that I did notice, I got kind of held up on my own fault. When you do the install, it asks for username and password. It won't continue until you add a password, even if you don't want to use the password to log in every time. So I was sitting there waiting for it to continue installing, and it didn't. So just so you know, you do have to put a password in there, even if you decide not to use it to log in. Some of the great things about this, it's very lean compared to Microsoft operating systems. It's very clean. It's snappy. From what I've heard, the filing system on it doesn't get fragmented. The way it puts the way it saves stuff on the hard drive is different, so you don't need to defrag your hard drive. And now it's amazingly enough Linux systems coming in 64-bit, which is really neat. They've really stepped it up. It is incredible. You get the benefits also, though, of security. Linux is a lot more secure, not only by its own nature, the design of it, but also because not as many people make viruses for Linux operating systems because there's just not enough out there to worry about attacking, I guess. So it's kind of a win-win in two ways with that. It's a very secure system. I'm not even running an antivirus on this, and I've not had any problems. And it's really simple to learn. It's very, very much like running Windows, and with a few extras. You can do your backup right from your little start tab down here. and you can do some pretty cool things down here. Right there, you can go to all your main files and stuff. Oh, I'm in a virtual machine. Okay, and then here does all your media right from there, and just like if you were to have a Windows media player, boom, it just pops up for you. They've done a very good job supplementing everything that you would find in XP, Windows 7, or probably even Windows 8, other than the touchpad features, which I imagine they'll probably start putting in the KDE versions of these systems. Anyways, I just wanted to point out that there's some really good alternatives to Microsoft Windows that are very reliable, user-friendly nowadays, and in this case, this one's free. Now, there is an upgrade to this, and I believe it's only $10, which I think we're probably going to spend to do, and it's called the Ultimate Edition of ZorinOS version 6. And the Ultimate gives you a bunch more things that you can do, and a bunch more software with it, and a few more capabilities. But I haven't really come into a snag with it. It's even really good about trying to find drivers for hardware and stuff like that. In my case, I had a little bit of a hard time with the printer, not because of Zorin itself, but because I'm running through VirtualBox and I haven't set up a network printer to it yet. But I'm pretty sure it's going to work out pretty well. Well, having said that, I'm glad you guys watch this, and I really encourage people to take a look at some of these Linux operating systems. I'll try to post some more, but I really like Zorin for the beginning Linux user that's trying to lateral over, get away from Microsoft, or if they just want to use both a dual boot operating system or boot this off of a DVD. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and have fun with Zorin.